Hey everyone, welcome back to Car Flash at the garage, where badge hype gets tossed in the glove box, spec sheet worship gets left at the showroom door, and what we're left with is raw, real-world driving truth. If you're new here, buckle up, as this is your pit stop for no-nonsense car reviews, the kind that skips the fluff and gets straight to what matters. And today, we're taking a closer look at one of the most talked about small crossovers going into 2026, the all-new Kia Seltos. Exterior. Now let's not pretend the Seltos is some under-the-radar sleeper. Since its debut, it's been climbing sales charts and carving out a niche as that just right SUV. Not too big, not too small, loaded with value, and wrapped in a package that punches way above its price point. For 2026, Kia's doubled down a sharper face, refined tech, and enough upgrades to make even the skeptics take notice. Let's walk around this thing and see what's really changed. Starting from the front, the 2026 Seltos grabs your attention instantly. The grille's wider and more sculpted now, stretching out like it's flexing. Kia's signature tiger nose design is still here, but it's been squared off and sharpened, giving the Seltos a bolder, more assertive stance. The full-width light bar that bridges both LED headlights is a nice touch, clean, futuristic, and undeniably premium. Those daytime running lights, now they don't just illuminate, they announce. Even the lower bumper's been redesigned with larger vents and more angular creases that scream confidence. Swing around to the side and the Seltos continues that well-proportioned, upright stance that's helped it stand out in a sea of sloping roof crossovers. The wheel arches are a bit chunkier this time around, especially with the available 18-inch alloy wheels that now come in new multi-spoke and machine finishes. The beltline has a more defined kink as it moves toward the rear, adding visual motion to a relatively boxy profile. And Kia's not holding back with color options either, as the 2026 palette includes bold hues like Pluton Blue and Mars Orange, plus dual-tone roof choices for extra flair. Small details like the blacked-out B-pillars and chrome-accented window surrounds elevate what could have been an ordinary silhouette into something that feels carefully styled. Now let's talk about the rear, because Kia's clearly been paying attention to the little things. The tailgate has been smoothed out and stretched slightly, giving it a more balanced look. Like the front, the rear now features a sleek light bar that spans nearly the full width, tying both taillights into one clean, modern signature. The updated LED lighting not only looks crisp at night, it gives the Seltos a premium vibe that's usually reserved for cars that cost 10 grand more. And new rear diffuser and chunkier lower bumper add some sportiness without overdoing it. It's modern, it's urban, and it doesn't need fake exhaust tips to look good. Thank you, Kia. Interior. Slide into the cabin. And here's where things get surprisingly upscale for this segment. The first thing you'll notice is the new panoramic curved display that blends a 10.25-inch digital gauge cluster with the matching 10.25-inch infotainment touchscreen. It's sharp, intuitive, and finally on par with rivals like the Hyundai Kona and even some entry-level German models. Kia's user interface is clean, customizable, and responsive, and thankfully they've kept physical buttons for climate control, a win for everyday usability. Material quality has taken a solid step up too. Soft touch panels now cover more surfaces, and higher trims feature contrast stitching, leatherette trim, and ambient lighting that pulses to your music. The seats, surprisingly supportive. Even on longer drives, they hold you well without the dreaded budget car flatness. There's more adjustability now too, power lumbar support, memory settings, and heating, ventilation in the front seats if you're ticking the right boxes. Rear passengers haven't been forgotten either. The second row is more spacious than you would expect, with ample head and legroom even for taller folks. USB-C ports and rear AC vents are now standard on most trims, which let's be honest, should have happened years ago. Cargo space remains one of the Seltos' quiet strengths. With the rear seats up, you're looking at 27 cubic feet of storage, more than enough for a full grocery run or weekend getaway. Fold them down, and it expands to over 62 cubic feet. Flat floor, wide opening, low load height. It just makes sense. Performance. Pop the hood, and the powertrain lineup hasn't radically changed, but there are some welcome refinements. Base models still come with a 2.0-liter four-cylinder engine pushing 146 horsepower through a continuously variable transmission. It's not fast, but it's smooth, reliable, and sips fuel. If you want a bit more oomph, the 1.6-liter turbocharged engine is the one to go for. It's been tweaked for 2026, now making a solid 195 horsepower and paired to an 8-speed automatic instead of the old 7-speed dual clutch. That change alone transforms the driving experience. Shifts are smoother, acceleration is more linear, and it just feels more grown-up on the road. All-wheel drive remains available across most trims, and Kia's added a multi-terrain traction system that adjusts throttle and braking for snow, mud, and sand. No, you're not taking the Seltos raw crawling, but for slick roads and occasional trail detours, it's more than enough. Steering has been retuned slightly for better feedback, and the suspension's a touch more compliant this year, which means less crash over potholes and a more composed highway ride. Fuel economy is solid across the board. Expect around 28 miles per gallon city and 34 miles per gallon highway with the 2.0-liter front-wheel drive model. The turbo with AWD drops a few points but still remains competitive. And no hybrid yet, but insiders suggest Kia is planning something electrified down the road. Now let's talk pricing. The 2026 Kia Seltos starts around $25,000 for the Bass LX trim, which already includes LED lighting, an 8-inch screen, and forward collision avoidance. The S trim bumps that up to just under $27,000 with alloy wheels, tautone paint options, and a few more interior comforts. Go for the X or X line, and you're looking at $29,000 to $31,000 depending on drivetrain. Top of the line SX Turbo AWD with all the goodies: a panoramic screen, Bose audio, ventilated seats, adaptive cruise, 8 tops out just shy of $34,000. That's still a bargain when you compare it to similarly equipped rivals from Honda, Mazda, or Toyota. Warranty coverage, as always with Kia, is outstanding. 10-year/100,000 powertrain warranty, 5-year/60,000 basic coverage, and roadside assistance baked in. It's a safety net that adds serious long-term value, especially if you plan to hold on to the vehicle. So, what's the final word? The 2026 Kia Seltos isn't just a facelift, it's a clear sign Kia knows its audience and knows how to keep them hooked. This is a compact SUV that delivers everyday practicality with enough edge to feel fresh. It's not trying to be a rugged off-roader or a luxury cruiser. It's a smart, stylish commuter with just enough performance and polish to put a smile on your face. From city streets to weekend getaways, the Seltos proves you don't need to spend big to get something that feels right. And that's the kind of driving truth we live for here on Car Flash. If you've made it this far, you're clearly as passionate about real-world reviews as we are. Drop a comment below and let us know what you think of the 2026 Seltos. Is Kia onto something, or do you think a hybrid or air version is overdue? Hit that like button if you found this helpful, and don't forget to subscribe for more no fluff, no hype car reviews delivered weekly. Until next time, keep your hands on the wheel and your mind on the drive. This is Car Flash, signing off.